Hello everyone, welcome to another video. If you're new, my name is Melanie. It's great to meet you. Today we're going to be talking about some recommendations I have for books that you should read in the month of October. When I think of October, I think of eerie, unsettling, magical reads, and so the books that I'm suggesting here are going to be books that sort of fit that description. When this video goes up, October will be starting in 2 days. I have no idea how that happened, but that's where we're at. So hopefully this video is useful for you when you're putting together your TBR for this coming month. First up, I've got Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. This follows a group of wayward orphans, has a lot of really creepy pictures. I remember feeling very unsettled and honestly quite creeped out looking at the pictures in this book. Also has a lot of like monsters and like just generally creepy vibes, but at the same time it's also very wholesome, very lovely, and you come to really love the characters in this book. So definitely recommend this. There are several books that come after this in the series, so if you like it, you can keep on going over the course of the month or over the course of the months that follow. After that, I'd like to talk a little bit about The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the first book in a quartet, so there's 3 books that come after this. They're all very good. This quartet is really popular, I think, in the book world, so you may have heard of it already, but honestly, this contains like everything you could possibly want from an October read. It's got ghosts, it's got possession, it's got seances, it's got magic, it's got like magical people, magical worlds. It is really, really well done. Follows a group of 4 boys. I think one girl, it's been a little while since I read this, but it was very engaging when I read it, and I'm sure it still is. I definitely actually want to reread this soon, so maybe I'll read it along with any one of you who choose to read it in October. Alright, so then moving on to the next recommendation, I'd like to talk about Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. This is another book that has 4 books in the series. It ended last year, so the last book came out last year, and all 4 books are very, very strong, and I like all of them a lot. This follows 3 young girls who are sisters and grow up separately, being trained to become queens, and they need to sort of fight each other for the chance or the privilege of ruling the island, but a lot of mysterious magical things happen on this island, and each queen has a different power. One's a poisoner, another one is able to sort of have very strong connections with animals, and then the third has control over the elements, and so it's phenomenal. Especially one of like the strongest things I think about this book is its writing style. It's very compelling, very unique, nothing like I've ever read before. It's very lyrical to read, and the cadence of the words just make it feel really, really spooky. So definitely recommend this for October. After that, I would say Caraval by Stephanie Garber is a great choice for the month of October. October to me is sort of like circus, fairs, magic type of situations, and this follows 2 sisters who get the chance to participate in a game where they, find out that the stakes are a little bit higher than they anticipated and things are much more real than they expected, but it's really, really well done. This is one of those books, the first book in a series where the first book is very good and the subsequent books are even better. So I definitely think that if you pick this up, you'll enjoy it and you'll want to read the next 2. Moving on to, I think, the book that I would recommend the most for the month of October, and that is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. V.E. Schwab is a very strong author. She has many, many amazing books, but I think this one in particular is the best for October because I guess essentially the series is following a pair of friends who want to be able to like enhance their lives, and they find out that they can gain extraordinary abilities if they bring themselves close to the brink of death. So it's there's like a lot of trigger warnings, I would say, in this series. This is actually the 2nd book in the series. I don't have a copy of the 1st book, but this is what it looks like. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Definitely want to get a copy myself. I know that people in the book world didn't like this series very much, didn't feel very engaged. However, when I read it earlier this year, I loved it. I thought it was really great, and I was very engaged throughout the entirety of both books. So I definitely recommend this one, but just know that there are varying opinions, so you may not like it, but I did. Lastly, in my recommendation list, I would say Nevernight is a perfect choice for October. This is by Jay Kristoff. There's 2 books that come after this. I haven't read the 2 books. I've only read this one. I do want to continue on with the series though, because this one was amazing. This follows a young girl who basically goes to a school to learn how to become an assassin. It's very, very gruesome, very violent, lots of blood, death, torture. It's very dark. So don't go into this expecting it to be lighthearted or fluffy. This is very grim, very dark, really strong fantasy, but very violent. But it's also really good. So if you're looking for something like that, this is a great choice. Honorable mentions go to Sadie by Courtney Summers. This was a very creepy book concerning the kidnapping or mysterious disappearance of one girl's sister and her sort of quest to find out what happened to her sister. This is like about as much of like thriller horror I can do. So I read this a couple months ago. I flew through it. I think I read it in like less than a day. So it was really great. The format that this is told in is also really cool. It's told sort of through narrative and then also through like bits of interviews and like radio, talk show, podcast excerpts. So I thought that was really great. I think this would be really good on audiobook as well. So if you're interested in audiobooks, I would check this one out. This past weekend, I actually read Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour and thought this would be a great October read. This came out just a couple weeks ago, actually, and it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. It has a lot of really unsettling vibes. Like, you just feel on edge throughout this entire story. I'm not going to go into details about what it's about because it's very short. It's only just over 250 pages. But the writing style is great. The content is great. I thought the plot was well laid out. It could have been a little longer, I think, but the size is nice. It's like a quick read for you to add to your October TBR. Definitely recommend this one. And then finally, I don't own a copy of this last one, but I do want to quickly mention The Wicked Deep. I read this last year, I believe, yes, and oh my gosh, it's just so atmospheric, so creepy, so incredible. One of those books that I sort of just began and sped through and then it was over. It's also very short, so another quick read for you to add. Definitely recommend that one as well. Hopefully you enjoyed these recommendations. If you did, let me know. Let me know what you'll be reading in the month of October, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!